Hi, welcome to Campus France for this new live session dedicated to higher education in France. If you want to come and study business in France, you're at the right place. I'm very pleased to welcome Exilia. We will be introducing today Excelia and giving you further information on ranking achievements and accreditations, the international admission procedure, the student and campus life. And to answer all of your questions today, I'm very pleased to welcome Alejandro Escudero, the Associate Dean for International Relations. Hi.
Bonjour, everybody. Nice to be here.
Thanks a lot to be there with us. We are also with Agung Ridwan Shaputra, the International Academic Advisor. Hi, Agung.
Hello, Guillaume.
And we will be in a few seconds with students of Excelia in Zoom. Aditi Panchal, a BBA program student at Excelia. Hi, Aditi.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks a lot to be there with us. My first question is going to be really easy. Can you all introduce yourself? Let's begin with you, Alejandro.
I am Alejandro Escudero. I am the Associate Dean for International Relations of Excelia. I am in charge of the partnerships with the international universities and also to welcome international students in the campus at Excelia.
Same question for you, Agung. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, for sure. So I'm Agung and I'm working in Exilia as an international academic advisor. So my job consists of contacting international students, and I will be the first point of contact before their arrival in France.
And the same question for you, Aditi. Can you introduce yourself?
I am Aditi Panchal. I am studying BBA 2 International, and I am from Ahmedabad, India.
Alejandro, can you present Excelia in a few words?
That is difficult because we do so many things. Excelia is one of the first education groups in France. We have 5 different schools. We have 3 campuses in La Rochelle, in Tours, and a new one this year in Orleans, very close to Paris, 1 hour ride by train for Paris.
And in which other cities is it possible to study?
It depends on the program. We have sites that you can study. For example, the BBA from this year, you can study in Paris. The BB, the Bachelor in Business, you can study in the other campus around La Rochelle. Is Niort, Rochefort, I think Angoulême. Also.
And to discover more about the school, we are going to watch a little trailer, and we will be back just after that. So that's a really beautiful video, and we really want to study at Excelia after watching that. What are the different major fields in which it is possible to specialize at Excelia?
But first of all is business with all the specialities, so from finance, management, human resource, logistics, and so on. Something that I forgot to say before is also you can study also in Cognac. We have a Master of Science in Luxury and Spirits. So this master is teach and Cognac that is now very far from La Rochelle. And also you can study tourism and communication and web design and data.
And is it possible to come to Excelia just after high school?
You can study with us the different programs. We have different bachelor programs in French and English. So you can study with us after the high school and with your baccalaureate degree, the international or the national, we accept both. And you can study undergraduate level or graduate level full in English with us.
Agung, what are the different specificities of the bachelor's degrees you offer?
Well, I mean, like as Alejandro has just said, in terms of bachelor's degree, we have degrees in with business, so management, marketing. You have possibilities to do a lot of specializations in business in the third year of bachelor or fourth year of bachelor's, depending on the program. We have programs related towards the tourism and hospitality management. So for those who are interested with the service industry, would like to work in the service industry, that would be the case. And we also have programs, as Alejandro has mentioned, in data and as well in the digital communications. So for those who would like to, get into digital world.
And what are the differences between a Master Grande École and a Master of Science?
That's a very good question, Guillaume, actually, because Master Grande École, a lot of English speakers, they don't really know what is it, Master Grande École. So the main difference is that for those who really know what they would like to do in terms of specializations, in terms of their professional career, I normally advise them to go towards the MSc program, because the MSc is much more specialized. And for those, because we have a lot of profile in terms of Master Grande École or Master in Management in English, normally these type of students who are in the Master Grande École or Master in Management, they are seeking of their professional orientation. And the idea is that on the first year of Masters, they can discover, and on the second year, they can react and choose a specific specialization related towards their professional project.
And what are the degrees that you accept for the admission at this level?
For the master's degree?
For the master's degree.
So master's degree level, we accept all types of diploma, which is equivalent towards bachelor's or licence in French. Either you can do it in Europe or elsewhere all around the world. So we do accept this type of degree.
We will talk now with Aditi, the student. Hi again, Aditi. Thanks to be there with us. Where are you from?
I'm from Ahmedabad, India.
And why did you choose to come to study in France?
Because I was interested I was belonging from business background, so I was interested in business. And I did diploma in fashion designing, so I want to explore my career fashion with business, so I choose BBA International in Exilia.
What was your background before joining Excelia?
I did fashion designing in diploma for 2 years.
Okay, and why did you choose specifically to go to Excelia?
Personally, I would like to say I liked the accreditation, like triple accreditation, and Exilia provide best education, and they are providing English courses, so it's the best thing for me.
Alejandro, you just talk about the different campuses where it is possible to study. Can you say again where we can study when we come at Excelia?
Yeah, the three campuses that we have is the La Rochelle. That is the campus where was founded the school. And then 2 years ago or 3 years ago, maybe I'm mistaken, we went to Tours, and this year we opened the campus of Orléans.
And it is the same program, the same education on the different campuses, or does it have some changes?
If I am not mistaken, for example, you can study the program Grande École the Master in Management Grand École in La Rochelle and Tours. But you have different specialities. So the core courses, they are the same in La Rochelle and Tours, but the specialties that you do in the last year, they are different. It depends also of the companies and the enterprise that they are around Tours and they are around La Rochelle. So always my colleagues from the business school, they try to match the environment of the campus and the needs of the companies of the campus.
And is it possible to change of campus from one year to the other?
Normally you can do your the core courses of La Rochelle, Tours, or even Orléans at the bachelor level. And then if you want to do a specialty that is in the other campus, you can go and do it in the other campus. So you can mix the campus.
Aditi, where did you have the opportunity to study? In which city?
I got the admission in La Rochelle campus.
And how was it, the life and the student life at La Rochelle?
For me, life in La Rochelle is amazing. It's like peaceful city, and for me, it's really comfortable city.
And it's just near the sea, isn't it?
Yes, it's near the sea. In summertime, me and my friend, we used to go beaches by bike and bicycle. We used to go like this in summertime.
And Tours and Orléans are also really, really beautiful cities.
Yes, indeed. So Tours, it's different cities. For example, La Rochelle is just in front of the Atlantic Ocean. So in which that, for example, the beach from the campus is like 2 minutes walk away. So, if you would like to take a break in the beach is possible. But Tours is much more, it's in the central northern part of France, and it is much more landlocked, but you have a lot of interesting things related toward culture, castles and things like that. So it really depends on what types of environment that the students would like to live in France.
Let's talk now about the study program, and if you have a question, you can, of course, ask them on the chat. We will answer them during this live session. Alejandro, I think that you have 3 main focuses at Excelia: management, data, and tourism. How is it organized in the school?
We have different schools. We have the business school that you can study all the business subjects. The business school is a triple crown school. We are triple accredited. We are very proud of the school because last year, we have ACSB from 2013, but last year we have Equis and AMBA, and only 1% of the school of the world, they have the triple accreditation. So we are very proud of our team. The tourism school is the only one in France that they are TEDQual accredited. The TEDQual accreditation is the accreditation from the United Nations for Tourism, and is related to the environment. The data, communication, and the science is the last school that it was open, and we opened 3 years ago.
Okay, and is it possible to stop directly after a bachelor?
Of course, we have the bachelor degrees, and after the bachelor degrees, if the students they can go directly to the workplace, begin to the having a job, or they can follow some studies at the master level or or even further if they want. But they can go straight to the work market.
Agung, how do you help the new students to choose the program that they can study? Because there is a lot of bachelor degrees, there is a lot of opportunities of masters. How do you help them?
So the main goal of my team and I is that to really match the students with the right program, with the right specialization related towards their past background and what they would like to pursue in their future endeavors. So first of all, what we really emphasize is what you would like to do in terms of your professional project. I mean, Alejandro has mentioned we have business, we have tourism, we have hospitality, we have also digital and communication. We also have some programs, some pathway programs in which that the students, like for example, 17, 18 years old students that they are now finishing their high school's degree. They maybe have several interests at the same time. So we have a pathway programs called the Bachelor First Year, where they can think, they have like 1 year, they complete 1 year of degrees, and like this they can continue towards the second year in 2022. Let's take example of the next September intake. And also it's when I say my team and I, which means that we have 6 different international office abroad. So for students who are right now in the European area, I'm their main contact person. But we have an office, we have 2 offices in Africa. We have one in Senegal, another one in the Ivory Coast. We have one office in Louisiana in the United States. We have one office in China, another office in India. So we are, and another office for students from Morocco, from Algeria and Tunisia. So we really make sure that each students get what they want related towards their experience, and making sure that they have the most amazing experience of studying in France.
Let's talk a bit about courses and pedagogy. What are the different class courses that a student can have just after high school?
We have 2 bachelor degree at the business school. The bachelor in business, that is a 3-year bachelor that is related with the Bologna process. It's a 3-year program. Mostly is teach in French. We have the BBA International, that is a 4-year program. So bachelor international. That is full teaching English, is the program that Aditi is doing. And tourists, we have also a bachelor in tourism and hospitality, and they have 2 paths. One is in French and another track is in English. And we have 2 bachelor in communication and web design, also that they are mostly teaching in French. That is about the bachelor.
Aditi, can you tell us what are the different courses that you have in the BBA?
We have like almost practical subject, like we have to work on our assignment. We have subject like international marketing, finance management, economics.
And what is your favorite class?
My favorite class is international marketing.
Why?
Because it's based on practical knowledge. We have to do a lot of research work, then we have to make presentation.
What are the specificities of the courses, Alejandro, in terms of pedagogy? How is your pedagogy at Excelia?
That is something that is important to say, because the way you teaching in France is a little different than the way you teaching in the other countries. Like Aditi was saying, there is a lot of presentations, a lot of teamwork. In some countries, the only thing that counts is the final exam. That is not the case in the business school in France or Excelia. The continuing assessment is very important for us, and is always almost 50% or 60% of the final result.
And Agung, in what languages are the courses taught?
Well, it really depends on which pathway would you like to choose. If you opt in, for example, like Aditi, who is in a BBA International, and she opted for an English track, then during the 4-year program you can do it in English. I mean, maybe in the 4th year, if you think that okay, I have improved in French, I would like to change in French track, that might be possible again. But it really depends. If you think, I believe that the viewers right now who are looking at this live, they are mainly English speaking. It's possible to pursue starting from your 1st year bachelor's degree until the 5th year, I mean like the 2nd year of master's degree, all in English if you prefer. So that's possible.
And if you choose to study in English, what are the different language prerequisites that you have?
So you mean the prerequisite prior entering the program, if I understand correctly?
No, I mean like, do you have to do some tests to prove that you have the level to follow an English class?
Of course. So it really depends on your country of origin. So let's say if you are coming from in the US, for example, in this case, English is one of the official languages in the US. Then in this case, you are not required to pass through a specific test. But for those who have, I don't know, let's say somebody from Indonesia who is watching us and got a high school degree there, in this case, they are required to obtain a B2 level either in IELTS, TOEFL, or TOEIC. So all equivalent tests, we accept all equivalent official English tests.
Alejandro, we just have had a very complicated year due to pandemic. I think
Indeed.
it's not a big surprise for our viewers, but how did Excelia adapt to this situation? How was the pedagogy transformed?
We changed our courses. With the pandemic, we put all the courses 40% in presential and 60% on online courses. So because we think that it's important for the students to be in the campus to guarantee campus life and a student life. So we decide not to do all the courses online. So we try to keep the distance, the social distance, and we find this way to do it.
How was it for you, Aditi, this period, and how are the courses right now? You have an online class?
Yes, currently I have online class, but from the February, if government allow us, we can come to the school. And it's online class is quite hard, but Excelia did a great job for us, so I was happy.
Let's talk now about the application process and the admission. If you want to join Excelia, you have to follow some steps. Agung, how is the selection process going?
Okay, so that's indeed it's a question that is inside the head of all the viewers who might be interested with Excelia. In terms of the application process, it's simple. You have 5 different steps, in which the first step is that you are required to apply online through our website. We have a specific platform where in this platform you are required to upload your last academic results. So let's say if you would like to enter your first year of bachelor's degree, then your last academic degrees in your year 12 or year 13, depending on which type of diploma you are currently completing in high school. And then you're required to pay 50 euros of application fees. The second step is once the application is confirmed, students will be required to pass through a specific admission interview. So this admission interview will be done online. It is fully online. It is a registered, which means that the questions are done before, and then the students will be recorded in the platform. So they have like 1 week to complete this interview, and then as soon as they do this interview, the results will be given a week after maximum. Okay, and for the 4th and the 5th steps would be as soon as if they got admitted, then in this case they're required to confirm their admission, and as well prior integrating the school they are required to send us documents, like for example if you're entering the first year of bachelor's, you need to give us your official diploma, your language prerequisite, official test, etc., etc.
What kind of questions do they have during this online process?
Okay, so in regards towards the interview, this interview it takes around 30 to 35 minutes maximum. The idea of this interview is really to understand about the student profile, where they come from, what's their background, and what they would like to do, because that's the thing. Because the idea is not to, we don't want to know. Do you know what is 2 plus 2? Is it equal 4? No. The idea is really to understand whether you are the correct profile, whether you are the correct fit for Exilia in one of our programs.
What would be your advice, Alejandro, to succeed in this application process?
To be yourself. To be yourself. I
But
think is the
sometimes
best word.
they want to the candidate they want to appeal to the school, so maybe they will have words that they don't use usually. They want to show, for example, that they're really interested in business because it's a business school, but maybe they have a high artistic interest that they don't show because they think that it doesn't match with the idea of the school. How can we be ourselves during an application process?
You have to be yourself because we have different kind of profiles. We don't have only one profile, and we try to push the students to find themselves, and to find themselves not only with the courses but also with the social activities. We have a lot of association, student associations, that they can do music, they can do arts, they can do a lot of things, and our goal is to try to push them to find their path.
We have a question from the chat. Thanks a lot to ask your question, and you can keep on posting and commenting. I will ask all the questions. A question of Fabiela from Mexico. Do you offer some face-to-face classes right now during the period, or do you offer them in a few weeks?
In fact, now, and it's the state, the French state, that they forbid to all higher education institutions to teach, but like all the higher education in France, we will be planning to open and to teach face-to-face courses from February.
Aditi, let's talk about... Yes, Alejandro.
Yeah, I forget. We have some face-to-face courses already. We have the small groups of students. Mostly they are international students, especially that they come to study French with us, that they are in small groups, that they are still coming to our school, because even with the pandemic, we are allowed to open to the small groups.
Aditi, let's talk a bit about your admission process. How was it for you? Did you have some fears? Were you stressed before the online interviews? How was it?
For me, it's like on Skype interview, and it's quite. I was nervous before interview, but that my interviewer is quite nice with me, so it's like easy interview for me.
And what questions did you have during your interview? I think that you had to introduce yourself, of course, but what did they want to see specifically on your profile?
They asked me about my academic, and they asked me, why are you interested in Exilia?
And how did you prepare for this interview? Did you make a lot of search on the internet about the school? Did you maybe write some answers? How did you do?
Yes, I read about Excelia and I make some notes for my answer, and then I prepare my answer.
Agung, is it the same process for the undergraduate program and the master degrees programs, or is it a different process?
Yeah, so it's exactly the same process, more or less. Although, if you want me, I don't want to get into details, but each program, for example, the questions of admission interview is different from, for example, Bachelor Business to BBA or to MSc with the Master Grande École or Master in Management. The questions are different, but the steps are exactly the same for either bachelor's or master's degree students.
Aditi, we know that when we choose to study abroad, maybe the parents have some fears. How did your parents react when you told them that you wanted to study here in France?
Oh, my parents are so happy, so they support me all the time. But I have fear before I arrived here because I don't speak French. I try to learn, but here totally different experience to learn French. So I have fear for language. Otherwise, I don't have any fear.
And how is it now with the French language?
Yes, I speak really well now. I improve a lot.
You had no knowledge in French?
No, before I arrived here, I didn't know how to speak French.
And now you can talk. I mean, in
Yes,
the
yes.
in the in the life, go to supermarket and talk with people, talk
Yes,
with friend
yes,
people.
because every day we used to speak everywhere we have to speak French, so we
Mm.
learn.
That's really interesting. Agung, what are the maybe the questions and the fears of parents when their son or want to study here at Excelia?
Well, I mean, like first of all, as Aditi has mentioned, that she has fears in regards towards the languages. Sometimes the parents are quite concerned on that. Sometimes parents are also afraid to leave their 17, 18, 19 years old student kid alone, going abroad alone, and which is normal. This is this type of this type of concern. Is normal, and it is normal for parents to have, but please note that at Exilia we really take care of their children. I think Alejandro can probably talk a bit more about the welcoming activities at Exilia, making sure that the students, regardless if they speak French or not, making sure that they feel at home, they feel welcome, and they can do their studies correctly, either for their bachelor's or until their master's degree ends.
And we are going to talk about the settling in France in a few seconds. But before that, can you tell us, Agung, what is the calendar to apply?
So the international admission team, in regards towards the application process, we have a rolling admission. So rolling admission meaning that we have a continuous assessment which is going on all year long. But as soon as the quota is blocked by the school, in this case, we cannot accept any more applicants. So for those who are right now watching this live, if you are interested with Exilia for next intake in September, I highly encourage you to start applying from now, because we start receiving application for September since last October, end of October.
If you're joining us right now, we are still talking about Excelia and discovering the school. Let's talk now about the way you help international students to settle in France. What are the different help, Alejandro, that you can provide to these international students?
We organize every year and for every program welcome week to the international students, and we have people that they are designated to help them with all the administrative stuff and also with the accommodation. Because the accommodation always is a tricky question for when we are an international students. We organize also intensive courses of French when they arrive before the programs begin, to give them a little knowledge and to be aware of the surrounding of the city and the campus.
So maybe I'll just add a bit what Alejandro has said in regards towards the team. So the team itself, of course, you have the welcoming week, but all year long. So let's say, because when you are international students, you are required to renew your visa, your carte de séjour. So in this case, this team will be present all year long, answering all your practical questions about living in La Rochelle, in Tours or Orléans, and as well, subscribing with the medical insurance, with the mutuelle étudiante in France. So the team is there. And regarding the accommodation, students, internationally speaking, because we have 25% of our students are international students, as soon as they got admitted and they confirm their admission, they will have a specific platform where they can reserve their accommodation online. So they don't need to get stressed. Arriving in France is already, when you don't speak the language, it's an additional stress. But if you can take care about accommodation beforehand, that's how we are helping students with living in France.
You can ask all your questions in the chat. Don't hesitate if you want to know more about Excelia. What about, Alejandro, the student social security? I think that it's a particularity here in France.
It's compulsory for all the students. It's something that is with the state, with the French state. So all the students, national or international, they need to have the French national security, social security, and we help them, the students, when they arrive, to fulfill all the documents to have it.
And is it possible, to have a small job in parallel of the studies for the international students?
Yes and no. Why I said yes and no? Because yes, you could have a job, But first of all, you need to think about your schedule on courses, because you can be busy all year long. And second thing is that you can get a job as long as you speak French. So as Alejandro has mentioned, that our students they got a pre-arrival, post-arrival French courses, but throughout the year, like you can for example ask Aditi later, that in the programs we have a French language lessons which is embedded inside the program. So the idea is that the student can be operational in French, and maybe as soon as they get comfortable they can find an additional job in addition to their studies.
And you also have, Agung, a strong international presence at Excelia with the representative offices.
Yes.
What is it?
So when I say representative offices, it's literally just like they have the same job as me. I mean, like I'm in charge for the European students. That's why I'm based in La Rochelle. But I have mentioned a bit briefly in the beginning that we have offices in the US who mainly handle students from the North America and South America. We have 2 offices in Africa, in Senegal and Ivory Coast. We also have an office who is responsible for students coming from Algeria, Morocco, and Tunisia. 1 office in China, another office in India. So that's the international presence. For us, it's really important because first of all, making sure that the students get the right contact person at the right time, and making sure that the parents, if they have questions, they have apprehensions, they can get to, in contact with us really quickly and in their respective time zone.
And Alejandro, you have the Campus France Welcome to France label. Can you tell us about that?
We are very happy to have the Bienvenue label in France. We are one of the 11 business schools that we have in France, and they assure the quality of the welcome days to the international students. That means that we fulfill some requirements, like we help them with accommodation, we help them with all the process, with the visa, and like Angun say, when they are with us, we keep helping when they have to renew the carte de séjour, when they have to renew all the documentation in France, we are with them helping all along. That is the level, the accreditation that Campus France give to welcome the international students.
And the international students also have a student advisor. What is it exactly, student advisor?
Not only the international students, all the students at Excelia, they have an advisor, they help them. The advisor, for example, before that they arrive, it can be Agun. Also the national students, they have their advisor that help them to choose the right path. Like Agun said before, for us it's important that the students it's important that they come to study with us, but it's more important that they choose the right path, the right students.
I'll just add probably what Alejandro just said. So indeed, prior arrival, you'll have my colleagues and I to guide you to pick the right path. But at school as well, you have 2 specific persons. For example, in La Rochelle campus, I'm talking about La Rochelle, for example, that they are in charge of helping students on daily basis, in this case with international students, because they have slightly more needs than national students, because with the visa, with the how to open a French bank. It seems easy for maybe some of you who are watching this live. You are French speaking students, but if you are only English speaking, maybe it might be a challenge. So my colleagues are there, will be able to help you on daily basis and making sure that you live well, you assimilate well with the French culture, and then you succeed in your studies.
Kobe asked us on the chat if you have international office in Gabon.
Gabon. Okay, so Kobe, we do not have international office in Gabon, but if you have questions, in this case, I advise you to contact my colleagues, Madame Ingrid Fall, who is based in Senegal. She'll be able to answer all your questions.
Okay. Aditi, can you tell us a few words about your first weeks in France? How was it to settle, to discover a new city, a new country? How did you feel at this moment?
Currently, it's like I would like to say France is like very, really nice with me. And after I arrived in Exilia, and that is they helped me a lot. Like they take me to the places like Ildere city center, and some we had a lunch together, and I discovered new food, and I really love it. Especially like I like baguette.
That's
Yeah,
your favorite food of France?
in France, yeah, baguette.
Let's talk now about the professionalization. Alejandro, is it possible to do internships during the study?
That is a particularity of the business school in France, that the internships, they are included in all the programs. You do internship and you are in touch with the enterprise world from the first year. The time that you spend with doing internships, that's changed from year to year. That to increase at the last year before to you run to that you entry in the work market. That is the reasons that the business school in France, they are linked with the business world also. And our students, when they finish the degree, they are able to integrate the business world immediately.
And how do you help them to find internships?
We have a career center, and we help them step by step to build the CV, to do the interview, and so on. There is a process that they begin in the first year until the last year that they are competent to do an interview, a professional interview. And when they go to do an internship, is the previous step to do a professional interview, and sometimes the internship that they do the last year is convert in a professional work. They transform the internship in a real work.
And maybe just, excuse me, Guillaume, if I can just jump in here. In addition to what my colleagues in the Career Center, in each of the programs, we have something which is called personal development modules, where each students will have a group and individual coaching sessions. We have mentioned previously that we support students, so it's prior arrival until they graduate. So that's the thing. In addition towards Career Center, these coaches are there to make sure that, okay, maybe when you are 19, 20, say, oh, I would like to work in finance, but do you really know what is it, finance? So they are there to really guide students, giving them the right information so that they can take a correct decision in regards towards their future endeavors.
And Aditi, did you already had the opportunity to do internships at Excelia?
Yes, this year I have internship.
And what internship did you do?
I'm going to work in communication.
Where?
Currently, I'm looking for internship. I am applying.
Okay, and
because
in
my
what
internship
kind?
start in May.
In what kind of organization are you applying for this internship?
I'm looking for a French and English speaking organization so I can improve more my French professionally.
It's one of your maybe your objective to improve your French and to be able to work in French?
Yes, I want to work in France after my studies.
Let's talk about the professional integration of your graduates. How is it, Alejandro? Do they find easily a job after they graduate from Excelia?
Easily is not the word to say, but normally we do everything that we can, that the students, when they finish the degree, they go directly to the job market. Like I say, we have a very high level of students that they transform their internship in a job offer. And we are very proud of that, especially that the Financial Times, in the last ranking, they congratulate us for our alumni that they integrate, our students, they integrate directly the job market. We really improve the ranking in the Financial Times, thank you to this mark.
Agung, your student can also do an international career?
Of course. It's possible because first of all, we have, as I have mentioned, we have 1 out of 4 of our students are international students, and you can start in France and you can work elsewhere. So let's take example of Aditi's program, which is BBA International program, where students, as soon as they graduated, they can either go into a master's degree if they want, but if they would like to go abroad, because like BBA International, just for a quick brief details of the program, is half of the programs is done abroad, which means that the student is very agile, adaptable towards all business type of environments, with a strong hard skills and as well strong core competences. So the idea is that if you would like to go outside of France after you finish your studies, that's possible.
And it's also possible during the studies you have an exchange semester. Can you have few words about that?
Yes, for sure. So for the exchange and double degree, that's a possibility in our school, where the students can go abroad from 6 months up to a year. So it really depending on the program. But I'll just take example of Aditi because she's in a BBA. So next year in the year 3, she'll be going abroad. She'll be going to one of our university partners. And the idea is that this exchange or double degree is to expand your knowledge in terms of culture, broaden your core competencies, but also if you would like to get a double degree, that would be interesting. I think Alejandro can expand more a bit on that.
That is my field, so I can talk a little bit about that. Most of the programs in Excelia, they are international. They have double degrees of the exchange programs. The most international program is the BBA, like Agung was saying, and we have in all the programs double degrees. But double degrees not only with the foreign universities, but also with national universities. We have both in both sides. We have actually 184 international partners.
That's a lot.
And we have everywhere in the 5 continents, from Australia to South America to North America, Asia, also, and of course Europe.
And you also have what is called associated campuses. What is it exactly?
The associated campus, we have 2 associated campuses in New York and in Beijing. It's part of a program, the Grand École program, and a track that is the global track program. The students, they spend 1 semester in New York and the 2nd semester in Beijing.
Aditi, Agung just tell us that you are going to study abroad next year. Do you already know where you want to study?
I want to study in Europe.
Where in Europe?
Like in Netherlands, Finland.
So you have the choice. How are you going to decide between the different countries? Is it a question of language and new languages that you want to learn, or is it a question maybe of the culture that there is in the countries? What is your key point to choose the country you are going to study in?
So my first priority is my subject, what I like to do there, because some university teach economics, some teach business, international business, depend on my interest. And another thing, yes, I would like to explore new culture and new languages and new country. And then I would like to meet new people. So definitely I will go another country.
Agung, how much does it cost to study at Excelia?
It really depends on the program, but let's say for the bachelor's degree program, it starts at 8,000 euros per year, and for the master's degree program, it starts at 11,000 euros per year.
And we have two questions from Geneli and Marie on the chat, and thanks a lot for asking your questions. What are the different scholarships to pay this student fees?
What do you mean by scholarships? You mean the tuition fees, or if you can just...
No, like scholarships, like helps from the school or maybe from the states.
Of course, of course. So in regards towards scholarships, I think first of all that students should check with Campus France, because Campus France with the French government have several types of scholarships that are currently being offered towards the students all around the world. But in regards towards Exilia, normally if students confirm, if they got admitted and they confirm their admission prior a certain deadline, they will be able to get a reduction on their first year of tuition fees of up to 10%.
If I
yes,
may
go ahead.
say, because we are very proud of our students that last year has the Ethel Scholarship. It was one student that is doing the BBA International in the last year, and he has the Ethel Scholarship, that is a French state scholarship that is very generous scholarships and is for the best students. So thank you to Campus France, thank you to the French states, and we are very proud of our students that they have this kind of scholarship.
And in terms of housing, how does it work? Do you have student residencies in the different campuses, or do you help students to find a house, a flat in the private housing park?
Yeah. In fact, we have a platform that we work online. The students that when they apply to Excelia, after they are automated, they can directly apply for the accommodation. And in the platform, they can find student residence, apartments, and very different kinds of accommodation. The accommodation, it can be in front of the sea if they want it. They have to spend the money to pay the view, but or they can be in the public residence of the French state. They have all range of accommodation.
Yeah, just maybe to add, Alejandro, that indeed we have the student residences, either the state one with a cruise or the private student residence. They have offerings in regards to co-housing. Well, students, you have an apartment of 3 different rooms, and you can mix. You have a melting pot in the same apartment. You can meet with students from Spain, from Germany, another one from the US. So that is commonly happening in all of our campuses. And or for students maybe who would like, sometimes parents, they got afraid of sending students 17, 18 years old, their kid abroad. We have also offerings on the host family, where the students there, they can improve their French level, first of all, because like in the families, they prefer, to speak French, and which is good would be advantageous for the students. But the second thing, which is the most important, is to making sure that your children, if we have some parents who are watching this live, your children will be safe and in a very safe environment and not living alone, so that's the thing.
So they have the choice. Aditi, can you describe your accommodation? Where do you live?
I live far from college, like 10-minute max by bus. I took bus every day. And I lived in a downtown area, and I have like a French and Colombian roommate.
So that's a good melting pot, and you can improve both French and maybe, I don't want to make mistake, Spanish knowledge.
Yes.
What advice would you like to give to international students who, like you, want to come and study in France, Aditi?
I would like to say, get out your from comfort zone if you want to achieve new things. And if you come in France and Exilia, don't stay with your community people. Go with new other and nationality people. If you meet new people, you will explore your knowledge, culture, languages. So it's a good to make international friends here.
Let's talk a bit about the recognition of your school and of the different programs. What are the accreditations and recognition of the different diplomas you offer?
The recognitions of the accreditations, we have the national accreditations, the highest national accreditations. We are part of the Conference des Grandes Écoles. That is quite important. It's like private club in France that sometimes we say that is quite similar to the Ivy League in USA. So only these schools that they are part of the Conférence des Grandes Écoles, they are fully accredited by the government, by the French government. In the international side, we are triple accredited. We are ACSB, EQUIS, and AMBA. The triple accreditation, only 1% of the business school worldwide, they have it. So this achievement, it was very important for us. And for the also something that happened this year, we really increase our ranking in the Financial Times for the Master in Management. We are placed in the 48 in the world. And I have to say that it's a great achievement of my colleagues, Sébastien Chantelot, that is the director of the business school, and Caroline Hermé, that is the director of the program. And it was the best ranking for us over the years. So we are very, very proud. And also for the tourist programs, like I said before, we are TED-Qual accredited. And in the TED-Qual accreditation from the United Nations, we are the only one in France that we have for the hospitality and the tourism.
And what is the average salary after studying at Excelia?
To be honest, I don't know, maybe Agun, do you have?
So I guess this type of question, it really depends on the program. So I will not go into details because these details you can find it in our website. But like, for example, if you finish a bachelor's degree, of course, the average annual salary would be less than if you completed the Master in Management or MSc programs. So if you would like to know further details, please go check on our website and you have all the details related towards the average annual salary.
We are at the end of this live session. Agung, what would be the next steps for your future students that are watching us today?
Well, the next steps would be, first of all, decide what you would like to do. That's the first and the most important thing that I always emphasize to students is know who you are. As Alejandro has said, know who you are, know what you would like to do, and if you need some help or some questions, feel free for European students, get back to me, or you can get back to one of my colleagues in the 5 continents all around the world. And if you want to take part in, because we have a lot of digital events, feel free to participate. You can also check out our mobile application if you would like to discover Exilia, and also check all of our social media. And as soon as you decide, you are more than welcome to start your application. And Alejandro and I, we would be, keen to see and wait for you at La Rochelle, Tours, or Orléans in September 2021.
Aditi, what last word do you want to say to the international student watching us, and especially the international student coming from your home country?
I would like to say you are going to make a best choice your life, because this is totally life-changing experience for me and you too in future.
That's a good word. And same question for you, Alejandro. What would you say to conclude to the international students watching us today?
To be careful, because it can happen the same that happens to Agun and me. True. That we were international students, we come to France, we fall in love with France, True. And we stay here. So
True.
The risk is that you fall in love with France and you stay here.
That's a good disease, and maybe that's the best disease of the world. Thanks a lot, Alejandro, Agung, and Aditi, for coming here today.
Pleasure.
And thanks to you for watching us. I hope we answer all your questions. If you still have some questions for Excelia, you can keep on ask them on the chat. The Excelia team is going to answer all your questions in the few minutes or days. Thanks a lot for watching us, and see you soon on Campus France.